is scrambling to reach a deal on a supplemental funding package for Israel and Ukraine, but admits that it may not be possible before the holiday break. The Justice Department's implemented a national law enforcement accountability database. It'll eventually be expanded to other federal government branches. This is ABC News.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
WNSR.
Want even more excitement on game day? It's time to get on Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Here's how it works. Just pick 2 to 6 players and choose more or less on their stats. If you get them right, you could win up to 25 times your cash. It's quick and easy to make your picks, and with fast and safe deposits and withdrawals, Prize Picks is the place to play this season. Prize Picks has awesome weekly promotions, and they're the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Sweat it out, watch your entry update in real time, and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. Take your game day experience to the next level with Prize Picks. And right now, you go to prizepicks.com/primetime and use code primetime. Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/primetime with code primetime for a 100% deposit match. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for more details.
Listen. You can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Good Monday afternoon to you, and yes, it is time for the McFarland Show. Darren and Justin here with you, and we are live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Damon Keene is alongside for the ride for the next couple of hours, and we got a plethora of things to get into. Hope everybody had a great weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yeah.
Because you went, mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything was fine out there.
Okay.
Enjoyed myself, stayed in for the most part. There were no dangerous storms unlike the previous weekend. So, that was the positive. So, for the most part, everything was fine. Enjoying that.
Good.
Yeah, everything was good.
Did you watch some games?
Yeah, watched some college football on Saturday.
There were bowls.
There were bowl games. Enjoyed a little Celebration Bowl action there for the HBCU National Championship. Enjoyed some of that. And then on Sunday, of course, partake of the NFL. And, partake of the NFL on Sunday. It's Saturday as well, with the Saturday games. Even though the Saturday games weren't a whole lot to look at.
Not really.
Anticipating some really nice matchups. And then outside that first game, kind of turned into some duds. Anticipating a little better there. Just a couple of teams didn't show up, didn't get off the bus.
Now, the Bengals game was good, but Pittsburgh's got problems.
Yeah.
They got problems.
Yeah. And guess what?
They're taking on water.
It's not the offensive coordinator. You said fire Matt Canada, yeah.
Well,
they did, and
still looks like crap.
Yeah, still not working.
Yeah.
So you have to come up with something else.
Yeah. And then the nightcap, not really good either.
No.
All Lions.
No.
They had their way. Well, weird exchange with Peyton and Russell Wilson on the sideline.
Yeah, I mean,
and then Sean Payton is asked after the game, and he's like, "None of your damn business. What I say to Russell is between me and him." And it's like,
that sounds about right.
Okay, well, it is a press conference, and you're the head coach, and the whole world saw it. So, is it not okay to ask? Did you not think you were going to get asked?
He did, and that was the response. Yeah, he thought he was going to get asked, and he thought about it, and that was the response he knew he was going to give. Yeah. So,
all right, we're coming down the home stretch, Justin. It is time for us to kick it into the 2-minute drill. Right, it's time for us to speed things up because we don't have much time to get a little help. And to join us, as he's been doing, starting last week at the beginning of the show, Pat Sperduto, former Cats head coach, former Titans coach, now the big cheese in the scouting department with the Kansas City Chiefs. He now joins us. Chiefs. Pat, what's up?
How you guys doing today?
We're doing great. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you like when Andy Reid does that? Chiefs.
Say that again?
Do you like when Andy Reid does that?
Sure. It probably means we won, so yeah, of course I like that.
Say Andy Reid doesn't do that. Around 70,000 people in Arrowhead Stadium does that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I guess I've seen the locker room scenes.
Okay.
They
You're
break
talking
it
about
down
that
with
thing.
That.
Okay, yeah.
Andy's very, very. The great thing about him is he also has fun in our building too. Don't kid yourself. He loves what he does, and he tries to keep those guys, loose and and let them know that hey, they're playing a kid's game. And sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves and we forget that we're playing a kid's game, and. So he tries to, that's been a big part of his. He loves them up and coaches them hard, but he wants them to still have fun at everything they do. You know.
Congrats on the win on Sunday. Last time you'll ever see Belichick as the head coach of the Patriots. So it's the last time the Chiefs will ever beat the Patriots with Belichick as the coach.
Yeah.
Are you making a proclamation or something?
Well, isn't that what the scuttlebutt is? Is that what everybody's saying?
It's scuttlebutt. Are we reporting scuttlebutt now on the air?
That's what everybody. The internet is saying.
The internet is saying.
It's saying it.
The internet.
Yeah.
Coach, I'd like to apologize again on behalf of the McFarland show that Darren
the internet is
out here with these shenanigans. If you've come on to talk about a great cause, and here's Darren. First of all, asking you about things that he knows that you can't comment on, and now he's talking about more things that he knows that you can't comment on. So I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Hey, look, I'm just like I said. I'm grateful that you guys are a part of this and have given it some time and taken away from your callers and the people that are a part of this show. So, I know it's a sports talk show. You guys, listen. I'm in the car. That's all I listen to. I know that's when you've hit old age, when you no longer play music and all you play is talk radio. So I've hit that. I'm old officially.
I don't think so. So tell everybody how they can help us. This is the final push this week.
Well, let's start with tomorrow.
Let's do that.
You guys are out at Single Tree Barbecue.
Yes.
2805 Old Fort Parkway in Murfreesboro. And all we're asking is people to bring new socks, gloves, or blankets and drop them off. And hopefully Darren will be able to carry all of it in his car home, and then we can make sure on Christmas Day everything that you drop off is going to be given out, and we're going to try to take care of as many people that are part of our homeless population in downtown Nashville on Christmas Day. And so that's the first way you can help. Run by Single Tree Barbecue. You guys are doing your live remote from there, so you get to say hello the McFarland show live and in person, and basically and be a part of a great program, get some great barbecue, and help us out and help us help our city. And that's number one. And then the next way you can help is on Thursday at Birdie Bros at 300 Indian Lake Boulevard, Suite 160 in Hendersonville. Another remote from WNSR. You can drop off, again, gloves, socks, or blankets, and Darren will bring them. What's that?
New,
yes, new.
I want to just emphasize that.
So,
new, please.
Just so you know, this afternoon I've been ordered. I'm making a trip to the dollar store, and I'm scooping up all their gloves and socks. So that's my my honeydew for this afternoon.
Okay.
Is I got to run to 2 Dollar Tree stores and go buy everything they have. So it was a yes, ma'am, and I'll get it done for my wife, and we're going to get ahead of it. And yes, so Birdie Bros in Hendersonville on Thursday, Single Tree Barbecue on Tuesday, and then anytime before the 23rd, Yogi's Pizzeria and Ice Cream at 4825 Trousdale Drive, Unit 360. You can drop off the same gloves, socks, and blankets. And Yogi has been awesome to us and makes all the meals and gets them all ready for us to give out on Christmas Day. And him and Robin and their crew have been unreal. And I can't thank them enough. And then the final way you can help us is you can go online at Rosie Sperduto. We have a Venmo set up where you can donate $5, $3, $10, whatever you can donate. We're going to use every penny, and we're going to spend it on, again, socks, gloves, and blankets for the homeless on Christmas Day. And we appreciate anything and everything you give. And like I've said a million times, anything is better than nothing. So if you can do something, we thank you, and we are going to make it a gift from all of us in this community to help as many homeless people as possible.
Pat, well done. You're getting good at this.
Yeah, I'm getting good at this.
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Hopefully I'm getting good at helping the Chiefs get better. That's important too.
Well, that is important too. That is your job.
Get better.
This has been
sir.
This has been your job around Christmas time. So you've done.
It has
you've
been.
excelled at both.
And I've told you, Darren, you know this, and Justin, you know it from your help last year. It's so gratifying.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gift to me, and a gift to you, Darren, and a gift to everybody that's involved in this. And if you drop off some gloves and hats, it's a gift. Gloves and socks. It's a gift that you're giving, and should make you feel better that you're helping somebody else that's not as fortunate as you are.
Our kids don't know anything else. That's how they start off Christmas morning. They don't know anything else. That's cool.
It's awesome, and we're so grateful for it, and we can't thank this city enough.
Yep. Pat, we'll continue putting the word out there, and can't wait to go to Single Tree Barbecue down in Murfreesboro tomorrow.
Get after it. Thank you, guys. Don't eat too much.
Can't promise that. But thank you.
All right. Be good.
Thank you, sir.
Pat Sperduto. And again, we are going to be tomorrow down in Murfreesboro at Single Tree Barbecue, and we're looking forward to that. 2805 Old Fort Parkway down in Murfreesboro. That's where we'll be doing our show, and Charlie Evelyn is the owner, and he has been nice enough. If you will bring in a bag full of new socks or gloves or blankets, he will give you a wonderful free pork sandwich from Single Tree Barbecue.
Sounds
and their
good.
food is, as you'll find out tomorrow, amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Sounds outstanding.
Something Justin the Titans were not yesterday. Amazing. Let's do that. This is a good time to break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come back.
We're wide open. 615-844-5600. We'll also hear a little bit from what Mike Vrabel had to say today. Their season is over. We'll get into all the particulars on the other side as you listen to the McFarland Show, Nashville Sports Radio.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new fall arrivals from TaylorMade, Callaway, and Titleist. Come by and test drive the new TaylorMade P790 irons, the new Callaway Apex Pro iron sets, and the new Titleist T-Series irons. While you're there, get a free custom fitting on the new arrivals and more. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is your headquarters for all the latest golf gear from all the top manufacturers. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at edwinwattsgolf.com.
Michael Fabiano here, and if you want even more excitement on game day, it's time to get on Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Here's how it works. Just pick 2 to 6 players and choose more or less on their stats. If you get them right, you can win up to 25 times your cash. It's quick and easy to make your picks, and with fast and safe deposits and withdrawals, Prize Picks is the place to play this season. Prize Picks has awesome weekly promotions, and they're the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Watch your entry update in real time and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. And right now, when you go to prizepicks.com/primetime and use code PRIMETIME, Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/primetime with code PRIMETIME for a 100% deposit match. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Are you ready for a touchdown of flavor and excitement? Look no further than Sam's Place and Sam's Sports Grill, the ultimate destination for great food, fantastic drinks, and game time atmosphere that will have you cheering for more. Sam's is the place for every sports fan and food lover with over 40 TVs at every location. Sam's has a family-friendly atmosphere where everyone can have a blast. From their friendly staff to awesome kids menu, they've got something for everyone. Online at samsplace.net or samsportsgrill.com, or call and find the nearest location to you. At Sam's, the game is always on and the fun never stops.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
This is just it. The Titans are trading Kevin Byard to the Eagles. The Eagles are going to send the Titans a 5th and 6th round pick and safety Terrell Edmonds.
Well, they're giving up on that contract.
There were also a lot of Titans fans upset about some of the comments he made, which I thought was insane.
Big kaboom here on this Monday.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
The McFarland Show. Video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube from the Strike and Spare studio.
They're playing a bowl in Charlotte, North Carolina right now.
They are.
The famous Toastery Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
It's been all Old Dominion, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. They're beating up on Western Kentucky 21-0.
Yeah.
As they start the second quarter.
Game includes a pick six.
Yeah.
So
we just watched it. Yeah. We got it on here in the studio, and again, it's been all Old Dominion, as you mentioned. Bowls taking place this weekend. Ohio beat Georgia Southern.
Yes, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. I understand.
Yes, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Look at you, 41-21.
Yeah,
Ohio won. In fact, Georgia Southern is coached by.
You got me. I don't know.
Clay Helton.
Clay Helton? Is that where he ended up?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the brother of Tyson Helton.
Tyson Helton. Okay.
Western's coach.
Western coach. Okay.
App State beat Miami of Ohio 13-9. Jacksonville State. That was what, Rich Rod, right?
Rich Rod, yeah.
34-31 over Louisiana.
Okay.
Fresno State beat New Mexico State over the weekend in the New Mexico Bowl, 37.
Fresno State beat New Mexico State. Isn't that just a conference game?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
No?
Felt like it probably.
Okay.
Felt like a home game for New Mexico State, but they didn't play well.
Okay.
They lost 37-10.
It sounds like a conference game, but anyway.
UCLA beat Boise State 35-22, and Texas Tech beat up on California 34-14. Just in case you didn't, and I'm sure a lot of you didn't pay attention, and I don't blame you. I get it.
What was the game where the monsoon weather was going on? Was that App State or something? Was that?
That was the Orlando Bowl or whatever it's called. It was in Orlando.
Yeah, it was boring.
I don't know what the.
How did you
I don't know
play
who's playing in that game, but yeah, it was in Orlando. I know that.
Yep.
It was ugly, but I watched about 5 minutes and I'm like, oh, okay, this is ugly.
Yeah, they're gonna run a lot. They won't pass. Yeah, that was the Cure Bowl. So Titans season is officially over.
Mathematically.
They've dropped 2 home games in a row in overtime to division foes. 2 home games in a row to division foes where an extra point was missed.
Yeah.
That didn't help things.
No.
But I guess before we delve into it, we want to hear a little bit of what Vrabel had to say. And
Let's
then we'll go hot and heavy.
Yeah, let's do.
All right, let's hear a little bit of what Mike Vrabel had to say to the media today.
The offensive line got a makeover in the off season, and it hasn't necessarily translated into better play. Do you need to maybe reevaluate what you look for in offensive linemen and how they play?
Well, we're just focused on this week right now, and we'll worry about and be as diligent as we can in evaluation at every position, in the off season. But right now we're focused on and continuing to find ways to improve, and most importantly, find ways to win. And then in the evaluation process, that'll come after the season.
Mike, when you talk about the offensive line and are asked about the offseason, kind of always pivot every time, worried about the next game, or Paul asked yesterday about the offensive line and just talked about protecting as opposed to what happened in the offseason. Do you think that is the accountability for the fans about what happened with the offensive line this year that kind of dodging a little bit?
No.
With the offensive line, and talking to some of them, they said that it wasn't anything new that they saw, but they did have problems communicating and just picking up assignments. Is that something that, how do you handle the accountability for that? Is that the players? Is that the coaching staff, collective? How do you handle that?
It's all of it. It's every single one of us. It starts with me, and we knew that this was a fast defense. There's good players. You like to watch tape. Malik Collins and Sheldon Rankins. We knew where they were going to be, and if you're not good with your communications or staying, good on your combinations, they create penetration, which then makes you loose and everything else. So we've said this. There's a call that goes in. At that point in time, it's on the 11 players on each in each phase to communicate, to work together with somebody, to identify the mic, to know your assignment, to strain, to do everything that you can to put yourself in a position to protect the guy with the ball, whether it's a run, whether it's a keeper, whether it's a play pass. That's how it goes down, that the coach tries to give them as many details throughout the week and show them some things that are going to help them. And then you have to go out, and if there's new looks that you see, then you come over on the sidelines and you make adjustments, or hey, this is what's happening now. I know we had talked about this, but for the most part, they were pretty much, that was the structure that we had seen in the previous weeks.
When they're running 17 times for 12 yards on first down, is that setting up play action? Are people biting on that, or are they having a fine time stopping the run with what they have up front? Did it establish anything for you to do in play action?
Well, we hit a strike behind the linebackers, late in the game to Hopkins, so it must have done something. I mean, there was...
was that trade-off worth it?
Again, we didn't win the game, and you have to understand that there's some of these play pass protections are also advantageous to allowing the quarterback to move the spot, to change his launch location, and give us an opportunity to protect, but also still run a route that we think is going to be good versus their coverage.
What's the trade-off there in terms of the frequent conversations we had about not being behind the sticks, when out of all of those first downs, you're coming out generally at 2nd and 10 or worse?
Well, that was, yesterday we've, done well, and, again, previous weeks of, our average gain on first down, whether that be running or throwing it, try to stay as balanced as possible, and also try to do, possess the football, try to find ways to win the football game, and it didn't work out yesterday.
Starts in how much freedom does Will have at the line of scrimmage, and has he exercised it a lot to this point in terms of getting you in the right plays? I think specifically I'm thinking of a couple instances yesterday where it looked like they were bringing run pressures and you essentially ran into it.
Yeah, and I think that there is some of that that we have to be able to expand on, or at least, can it and try to, maybe get it to the other side to give us a little bit better angle. And there's some, relief throws that we can make and things that are in there. And, I think it's important just to, as long as everybody's on the same page between him and the receivers, or him and the offensive line, and what we're trying to do, that's what's most important. And, we'll continue to work on that.
Mike, what led to your Tart getting released, and did he ask for his release at all?
I think we can touch on some of those personnel decisions, at the end of the season. But, we're excited about the guys that are here now, and working with them and moving towards them, and, finding those guys that we can work with.
I say to all the guys, Mike, about finishing the season strong the right way after being eliminated.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be something I'll try to, make sure I'm consistent with when they come in here, on Wednesday, and making sure that, it's not too watered down. I don't know. It's new. Right? It's a new experience for me, so I'll have to give it some thought and try to, make sure that we're doing everything that we can to continue to try to teach them, to develop them, inspire the ones the best that we can.
Mike, are Derek's days as an elite running back in the NFL over?
I don't think that. I think that, that we understand that Derek's got a certain running style and a great skill set, and we have to be able to get him going and give him some space and get him to the second level. And he, in turn, has to be able to, help the line, help the receivers, help the tight end. It all goes hand in hand. You don't just hand it to a guy and they beat 3 people. But there's also times where guys make a great cut, or guys make a guy miss, or Derek stiff arms a guy. So certainly after yesterday, nobody was good enough. Everybody involved.
All 7 sacks yesterday were in the second half and overtime. Was there something that they did that made an adjustment that allowed them to get there, or was it more breakdowns that from the second half that didn't occur in the first half?
Well, they had, 2 through 3 quarters. One came, down in the red zone. I would say that, we're trying to hit one. We're trying to play that we had designed from before, and, they didn't bite on it. Will probably waited it out a half a count too late, and it wasn't there. Would have liked for Jalen to block a little bit longer, but maybe we can help them out and just say, hey, they got us. They didn't bite up on, the fake. You go by case basis. There were some that, tried to throw the ball on 1st and 10 one time and wasn't open, so it was a sack. So, it's a lot of things. 3rd down, they show up, 3rd and long, So it's just got to be, cleaner, with everybody involved, with the how quickly we get open, the concepts that we're giving them, how quickly we get open as receivers, how long and how well we block, the quarterback's movement in the pocket, all those little things that, again, that all goes into it. I mean, yeah, there's times where we got beat, but there's also a play and a process to the entire operation.
You're currently starting two rookies on the left side of your offensive line that seemed to have a rough day yesterday. A lot of teaching tape there, and what's the message to them as they bounce back?
They'll keep working, they'll keep fighting, keep improving, try to, keep taking the little details, the technique, and, it's not easy developing young offensive linemen, but we'll, at this point in time in the season is what I'm saying with the amount of reps and, where they're at physically, but, working together is something that's critical, using length, not letting them get into your body, but and they had some snaps where they blocked them well too,
That last sack of Levis.
There you go. That was look. That's some of Mike Vrabel today.
Sure.
That was a healthy enough dose.
Yeah.
Of Mike Vrabel today. What stood out to? I mean, I've got some things, but what stood out to you?
I mean, several things where he talked about the play of the offensive line and said, that, essentially the offensive line didn't play well enough, and he's not taking a pass essentially when he was asked point blank about whether or not he needs to reevaluate the way the offensive line plays or the type of offensive lineman that they get. And he was like, we'll get to the offseason when we get to the offseason. And basically, that's not a dodge. Okay. I mean, they did revamp the offensive line over last year. It's still not okay. Mm-mm. It's still not working.
Nope.
So whose fault is that? Now, did they have enough money to do what they wanted to do? Did they spend enough, capital in the draft? I mean, they drafted two of them. They drafted two offensive linemen. Clearly, they didn't have enough depth.
And they're playing.
They're playing, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's an improvement already. The fact that they are both playing.
Yesterday didn't feel like an improvement.
Well, listen, I would beg to differ.
Well,
I mean,
you're right. The fact that they're at least playing is
which is a sad indictment.
Yeah.
But it is accurate that at the very least, Rand Carthen's draft picks are actually on the field.
Yeah, that's sad but true.
Okay, so you can judge them how you want.
That's the upgrade.
But they were on the field. Now maybe you didn't like them, but they were out there. So I mean that is what it is. Tier Tart. Listen, you cut the guy in the middle of the year. Clearly something happened. Why can't you address it?
That was my number one.
Yeah,
thing.
you can't address it right now.
Why? Like what do you need to wait till the end of the season?
Why are we waiting till the end of the season?
You made the decision now,
Mike. And the answer to why they were going to wait till the end of the season, because they don't want to talk about it now.
Tough.
And they don't have to talk about it now.
You cut him in the middle of the season.
They don't want to talk about it.
You cut him in week 15.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well,
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about it later.
No, nobody gives a damn. Are you talking about it in a month and a half from now?
Yeah, I know, which is why we're going to talk about it then.
I know, but the decision now was made. Okay,
yeah.
So look. You don't have to get into fine details. Just say, hey, we're looking for buy-in around here, and we're looking for we didn't feel like we didn't feel like he no longer gave us the best opportunity to win, or we want to see some younger, whatever you come up with. I don't know. I don't care how you phrase it or frame it or what you say. Obviously, nobody's expecting you to get any juicy details. We all know that there was a clear disconnect with you and maybe even players with Tier Tart, because if you remember Jeffrey Simmons about a month ago or whenever, I don't know the exact time frame, when they went into the bye week,
sure,
Big Jeff said, I guess we're about to find out who wants to be here and who doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were wondering if that was Tier Tart. And maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But all I do know is a month later, he's been cut.
Yeah.
A starter.
Yeah.
Cut. So clearly it's bad.
Yeah.
So, Vrabel, you've been doing this 6 years, man. You're the head coach. You made the decision. So what? Okay. So you say something.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about.
But, we'll talk about the end of the year. Nobody cares now. You made the decision now. Then why'd you just wait till the end of the year to cut him? Why'd you do it now?
Listen, and I told you this was going to happen last week when they made the decision, and they, why did they announce it? They don't want to talk about it. And then I don't think anyone asked yesterday about it. He got one question about it today. They don't want to talk about it, and that's it. And unfortunately, that's just and at some point, Darren, we'll get a chance to speak to the powers that be, and we'll get a chance to ask them about it. Next time we can talk to Rand Carthen, if we get a chance to talk to Rand, we can ask Rand about it. Like, what happened with T.R. Tart? Why isn't T.R. Tart on the football team? Why'd you cut him in week 15? What happened with the other linebacker that you cut?
Monty Rice.
Monty Rice. What happened with Monty Rice? Why'd you cut him? Why are you cutting healthy people? This football team, which has been my main point about this whole episode, this football team has had a problem keeping people healthy. Now they're cutting healthy players in the middle of the football season. Okay. I mean, you must have really decided that this guy wasn't a good fit or whatever. Just come out and say so. All right, but they don't want to do that. Last but not least, Derrick Henry.
And by the way, what's wrong with that? If they weren't bought in, then just say it. Just say we're looking for people who, are bought in.
It doesn't deliver the message that they want to deliver, apparently. That's why they're not saying it, because that's not the message. What message do they want to deliver? I don't know. But apparently that's not it. So I don't know, Darren. I don't know why they won't. I don't know why they won't do a lot of things.
But here's the deal. Then I hope people keep asking. This is what, look, when Ken Wisenhunt was the coach here, a lot of people in this town who have been listening remember that interview. I remember it well. And it was, who was the linebacker from UCLA? Was it Hakeem Ayers?
Hakeem Ayers, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah,
and he was,
sure.
Whatever. There was same deal. Stuff was going on. Like he's inactive. He's a healthy inactive. Like there was clearly stuff going on. And he came on the radio show and I asked him about Hakeem Ayers. Like what, I don't remember how I phrased it. Like what's, what do you need to see from him? Why is, he been a healthy scratch or whatever? Or actually I didn't phrase it that way, but he was just like, he acted like nothing, there's nothing to see here. And I'm like, and I followed up with, well, there's clearly something going on because you've had injuries at linebacker and he's a healthy scratch. He's a healthy inactive. So there's clearly something going on.
want to talk about.
But you want to talk about it. Again, why do these coaches want to make it worse? Just say something and then it'll stop. But I hope in this case, even though I thought there were some pretty stupid questions in this press conference today, just this market, and I get a lot of these, especially younger ones, they're looking to make a name for themselves. They're trying to bait the coach.
Yeah, thank you, Darren. I was going to say, a lot of this guys
they're just trying to click.
And listen, Darren and I are the two old heads here. We're the this is the segment where we sound like the two old men yelling on the lawn a little bit. They're trying to bait Coach Vrabel into saying something that they can use on social media or on their websites or on whatever. That's what they're trying to do so they can take credit for it as well, by the way.
And
so
everybody talk about
so
your
they
question.
can play themselves
Yes.
asking the question that got the reaction. That's the game that's being played here. So why would you ask Coach that? Because they're trying to get Mike Vrabel to fly off the handle. That's what they're trying to do. So and Coach Vrabel, to his credit, hasn't taken the bait too often here. So, and they set the traps for him yesterday or this morning or earlier today, and he didn't, he wasn't falling for it like he hasn't as of late most of the year. He I don't know if he does yoga or whatever he does. He prepares himself and he goes in there and he just like, yeah, whatever y'all coming in here with, I'm not falling for it.
So there were some dumb questions, but I hope they stay on the T.R. Tart thing until he gets sick of it and is forced to answer it because he should be forced to say something. Like, don't give us this crap of we'll wait till the end of the year. Like, that's baloney. Like, you moved on. Just say something. Something clearly happened. What was it? You just say he was about to become a free agent. We weren't going to bring him back, so we decided just to move on now and start finding the next guy. Okay, then say that. Say something. But this whole let's wait till the end of the year, I hope they
And
keep
personnel decisions and all
I hope
that.
he keeps getting badgered about Tierra Tart.
They make personnel decisions every week. So, why not talk about the personnel decisions that they do make? But we're excited about the guys who are here. All right. then.
Right. Yeah.
Well, great.
All right, we'll take another break. We'll come back, continue to talk about things that took place in the 1916 overtime loss to the Houston Texans. 615-844-5600 as you listen to the McFarland Show, Nashville Sports Radio.
Fill the halls with shouts of winning, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be giving, fa la 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 la. Instant games to friends and family, fa la 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 la. Join the joyous cash prize carol, fa la 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 la.
With top prizes up to $500,000, holiday instant games from the Tennessee Lottery make grand gifts. Find them at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer today. Please play and gift responsibly.
We all know that Nashville life can get hectic. In the middle of all the madness that is life, don't forget to take care of yourself. Treat yourself to Nashville's ultimate relaxation experience at Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel. With services for men and women, Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel is your one-stop shop for full-body treatment. Begin your experience in the exquisite relaxation room, then enjoy a full-body treatment or even a couples massage before finishing in the salon. Located on the 4th floor of the Omni Nashville Hotel, Mocara Spa is Nashville's highest quality self-care oasis. To book your experience or gain information on packages, call Mocara Spa today at 615-761-3600. Again, 615-761-3600. Or log on to theomnihotel.com. And with every booking, you'll have free valet parking and rooftop pool access to enjoy the Music City skyline. And through Labor Day, enjoy the 4th floor spa terrace for only $20. Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
The TSU Tigers men's basketball team of fifth-year coach Penny Collins are coming off a top 3 OVC finish last season and looking for much more this season. Led by preseason all-conference guards Marcus Fitzgerald and Kenyon Hodges, the Tigers face an impressive non-conference schedule that includes Oregon, Lipscomb, Austin Peay, Indiana State, and Liberty, and tip-off league play on December 28th at Gentry Center versus UT Martin. Hello, this is Greg Pogue inviting you to join longtime TSU broadcaster Albert Dawson on all of the games this season right here on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
5-state forecast.
Your exclusive National Sports Radio WNSR Skyscan forecast. For this afternoon, we'll have a sunny to partly cloudy sky with a high of 46. Mainly clear and cold tonight, the low 20. Tuesday, sunny, high 42. Sunny Wednesday. Utilizing the resources of the Boulevard Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio WNSR.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
615-844-5600. At about 3:20, we'll talk to our man, Vince Ferrara, 99.1 The Sports Animal, in Knoxville. He's actually down in Florida awaiting Tennessee's bowl game against Iowa. He's just sitting around, staring at the wall, waiting for kickoff.
Sitting around Florida.
Nah, he's actually with his family, who's down in Tampa.
Okay.
He's down in the Tampa area. So
Not bad.
He's chilling, man.
Not bad.
Just taking some time much needed time off.
Rightfully so.
615-844-5600. Darren and Justin here live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Don't forget, every day you can watch the show as well on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Let's go to Doug. Doug, what's up?
Hey, happy holidays to you guys.
Same to you.
Getting close to Christmas, but what I saw yesterday, we always talk about have you been naughty or nice. That was not a nice game to watch yesterday. And my whole take was, what can you expect when you had one offensive touchdown in the first half, and then the defense helped you out, and you came up nada in the second half? You didn't score a thing.
Nope.
Nothing. And
Honk,
in
if you've
any
heard
way
that
that you
before.
tried, any way you tried to get one with Derek. You tried to get one passing. You tried to get one running the quarterback. Your defense didn't get a stop. You came up completely empty in the second half. And that's been the theme for how many games can we say now? So, I kind of thought, I'm getting used to it by now, and that's not a good thing. So something's got to change. And what the something is, it's multiple things. I'm even looking at the defensive backs. When that running back takes off, you figure that your backside are your fastest guys. We couldn't even catch him. We can't catch a running back with our defensive backs. What does that tell you? We're slow. That's the saving grace. Safety is because it's called safety for a reason. He's the safety valve that stops a touchdown. What the coach always told me, he said, you're the last line of defense. And what did we do? How much did he hit us for? 130 yards rushing? And some of it was in the backfield. He just running through the line. So it's just, there's holes, so many holes everywhere. It looks like Swiss cheese. But
they got lots of problems. There's no doubt about that.
It's not a one draft pick, so people be prepared. Not a one. I've done said it, and I'll say it on this show. They will go into the new stadium without a winning record. I'll hang up and listen, fellas.
All right, Doug. Thank you. That's 2027, man. Gosh, there's still a lot of football.
We're a long way away from 2027.
A lot of football to be played.
There's about 3 guys on the roster who will still be there in 2027.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Yeah. So
it'll definitely be a new look.
Oh yeah.
By the way, here's something that stood out to me yesterday. Did you feel like Derrick Henry was saying goodbye? Because that's what it felt like to me. I felt like, and I know he was asked, but he answered it very honestly, and I appreciate that. But I would expect nothing less from Derrick Henry. But it felt like a goodbye.
I hope so. I mean, did I feel like a goodbye? I'm not really sure. Derrick is.
Why do you say I hope so?
Well, because it's time. Listen, again, we've been through this, and it's sad, but it's true. We have been through the long goodbye with Eddie George. We have been through the long goodbye with Chris Johnson, and now we're going through the long goodbye with Derrick Henry. And I'm sorry, it happens. The heyday comes and then it goes, and then we hate to see it come to an end, and we all feel romantic about the times in which it was good and everything was, but it's just over, and that's okay. That's okay. It makes room for the next thing, whatever that will be, and what and it's all right. But no, it's not going to be like it was before. The days of 2,000 yards or 200-yard games and all of that, and the stiff arms. And listen, hold on to those memories, okay? We've got it on tape. We've got it in beautiful high definition. The good news is we can run it back from now through eternity. It'll always be there. We can watch CJ2K highlights right now. I've got good news. We can pop them in. They're on YouTube for days. We can watch them and remember how fast CJ2K was. We can watch Eddie George run up and down the field like it was yesterday, all over video. Same thing with Derrick Henry. Hold on to the memories, everybody. It just cannot last. And it's run its course.
I just don't know how much of it is Derrick Henry Derrick Henry has lost the step and he's doing what we've seen other running backs do in their career, or this team is just so bad in front of him that it's more an indictment on the team and not him? I don't know the answer to
It's
that.
bad and predictable. It's the double whammy. It's bad and predictable.
Do you realize, like, every time he touched the ball yesterday, he was starting behind the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
Like, getting hit.
Yeah.
Like, not starting, I know that. Getting hit
Yeah.
behind the line of scrimmage every time.
Bad and predictable. Both.
Like, he's not even at 3 yards down the field before he's getting hit, or 2 yards, or even a yard past the line of scrimmage before he gets hit. No, he's getting hit before he gets to the line of scrimmage every time.
Can't block for him. They can't block for him.
That's what I'm saying.
They can't
Justin,
get him going.
I don't know. I don't know what the is it. Is it truly this is just what happens? We've seen it in football our whole lives. Like he's the guy that's the 30-year-old running back. He's getting to 30, and then things just start slowing down, and he's hitting that proverbial wall, and the running back dies the slow career death, and he's got like a season or two, and it's over, just like that.
This is over for him here. Again, no one in the NFL is going to bring Derrick Henry in and give him the ball 22 to 25 times a game, because that's what you need in order for him to be effective. Now, unless somebody shows me different. If somebody can show me somewhere he can go and be effective with 12 touches a game, I welcome that. I want to see that.
Happen.
I want to see that.
Yep.
But, he needs 22 to 25 touches a game to be effective. Who's going to do that in today's NFL? I don't know a single team who's going to do that. And then now that single team includes the Titans. They're not doing it either. So if you're not going to do that, then why is he on the roster?
16 carries yesterday for 9 yards.
16 predictable carries.
16 first down carries for 9 yards.
Yeah, predictable.
Well, it felt
predictable.
Like,
it was
felt
never.
Like first down.
It was. They were never off balance.
No,
never. They knew he was getting the ball every single time.
I know.
And there was.
That's what I'm saying, Justin. Like, how do you? Like, I don't know if it's really him. Like, I don't know if it's him or really it's about all the ineptitude in front of him.
It doesn't matter.
And on the sidelines with the coaches.
Sadly, it doesn't matter.
All right, Eric in Columbia, we'll come back and wrap up the first hour with you next.
Do you ever feel like gambling is causing financial strain or hurting your relationships? The Gambling Clinic has been helping people who want to change their gambling habits for over 2 decades. With physical clinics and remote online appointments, we're here to help you make informed decisions about your gambling so it doesn't lead to a bigger problem. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com so we can work together to help you win your life back. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Hey, this is Darren.
And this is Justin.
And we are the McFarland, weekdays from 2 until 4 p.m.
And we want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
Hey, this is Damon Keene, producer for the McFarland Show, and I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hey, along with Pat Cook, John Burton, Greg Pogue, the Greg Pogue and John Burton Show, all of us wishing everybody the best of holiday seasons and even better 2024.
2023 was a great year. We're looking forward to more fun in 2024, and we thank you for your loyal listenership.
We love the interaction. Keep the phone calls coming.
Indeed. Holidays are about family. We consider our listeners very much a part of our family. Thank you for listening, and all the best during this holiday season from the Greg Pogue and John Burton Show.
I'm Joe Fisher from the Mid-State Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week. From our family at WNSR to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and a Happy New Year.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting parlay bets together, hammering the overs, and anytime player touchdown bets always have me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Kentucky. First online real money wager, only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Locksmith Company, our full-service locksmithing expert, is asking listeners to please donate a toy to Toys for Tots this holiday season. You could make a difference in the life of a child. This message is brought to you by the Locksmith Company, a proud veteran employer. For all your residential, commercial, or automotive locksmithing needs, call today for a free estimate or 24/7 emergency service at 931-801-5427. 931-801-5427. And also visit the LSCO.com. The Locksmith Company is looking forward to seeing you.
This is the Grant Vogue and John Burton Show.
Derrick Henry's next.
Yeah, I think this is the first of several moves. I do. I think the Titans realize where they are. I think it's a reality check, and I think there could be more moves. I really do. You wake up one morning, you realize it's time to do some different things here. I think that's what it is, so I don't think they're done dealing.
Greg Vogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Text the Strike and Spare studio now at 615-844-5600. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Or call that number like Eric did down in Columbia. Eric, what's up?
Afternoon, guys. How you guys doing?
Great.
How are you? Since I talked. Good. Alice Rose, Greg's granddaughter, has she arrived yet? Y'all heard anything? Or
I have not heard anything on that front. I know he was not with John and Patton this morning. I don't know.
Right.
I know it was delayed. He told me on Friday that I guess it was supposed to happen then, but I guess it got pushed yesterday or today. I haven't heard the latest, so I don't know.
I have not either.
Greg got the dates confused the other day. He thought it was Thursday the other day, and it was Wednesday, really. And he said, "Oh, she'll be born tomorrow." And his wife texted him later on in the show and said, "It'll be Friday, dumbass."
He just wanted days off.
Exactly. That's it.
No, we'll find out.
I just want. What's that?
I said we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Well, I pray it's going to be a smooth and good delivery, and mama and baby is going to be okay and everything.
Yes, sir.
Without question.
Yep.
Yes. Just one thing, a couple things I wanted to get in with you guys. So I can't remember if it was both you guys that said you thought Derrick Henry was saying goodbye. Or it was just you, Darren. I don't necessarily agree with that take. I think Derrick will be back next year. I think they'll figure a way to bring him back, and it'll kind of be like what Zeke Elliott and Pollard was doing in Dallas there for a little bit. I don't know how long he'll be brought back for, but maybe like a 1-2 year deal. I think he'll be back for. And then I think D-Hop is going to come back next year too to help out Levis.
Well, D-Hop's under contract.
Right.
He's not a 2 year
under
deal.
contract for 2 years, but there's been rumors about trades and him going off into the sunset or somewhere to another team.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Good luck with your quarterback getting rid of his favorite target.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And one thing I don't agree with what Doug said either. I don't think that it's going to be 2027 before we're going to have a winning record. I think we'll start to get back. Ram was just seeing what he had this year. Brave said he could win with this team, and he couldn't. It was inexcusable what Brave said yesterday that, we've ran the ball and we've had success with it. Well, no, you're the head coach. You're supposed to figure out how to win that game because running the ball wasn't working. So you had plenty of opportunities to win that game. So you can't blame it on the refs. You can't blame it on the calls. All you can do is blame it on the offensive calling and Braves sticking by that, double down on that.
Yep.
And
Eric,
we got to go, man.
Thank you for the call, as always, man. That's going to do it for this hour. We'll continue the discussion on the other side. We can talk about what Eric just brought up. Oh, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll talk to Vince at about 3:20. Hour number 2 of the McFarland Show coming up next.
560 AM, 95.9 FM, Brentwood, Nashville, 107.9 FM, Smyrna, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
ABC News, I'm Daria Aldinger. More than 500,000 customers in the Northeast and New England are without power from a storm with flooding rain and damaging wind, which rolled up the East Coast. The UN Security Council could vote as soon as today on a resolution to demand Israel and Hamas allow aid to get into Gaza. So how will the U.S. vote?
We are always trying to get to a place where there's language that we agree with, that other Security Council members agree with. But right now, when we're in the middle of the negotiation process, I wouldn't want to speculate.
State Department spokesman Matthew Miller. Mortgage giant Mr. Cooper says almost all current and former customers were impacted by a data breach which stole sensitive information. Time's running out on Congress to come up with a supplemental funding package for Israel and Ukraine before the end of the year. Actor Jonathan Majors has been convicted on account of assault and account of harassment and the assault of an ex-girlfriend, but he was acquitted on other charges. This is ABC News.
Hey, you. The one on the couch who just told your friend you can't go out because you're busy? Ready to get real about your psoriasis? When your current treatments don't do enough to help control the inflammation beneath the skin, causing plaques and pain, stressing and scratching, it's time to stop hiding and get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
A holiday message from Jackson Hewitt.
'Twas the yikes before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, except Larry. See, the stockings weren't hung by the chimney with care, 'cause Larry's wallet was empty with no time to spare. So he went to Jackson Hewitt for a holiday loan, got money so fast he rejoiced and went home. Avoid the yikes before Christmas. Go to Jackson Hewitt before it's too late. Get up to $1,000 fast, minus the wait.
Early refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers.
Listen. You can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number. Alrighty then. Now the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour of the McFarland Show here on this Monday afternoon, rolling right along. Darren and Justin here with you. We are live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Vince Ferrara will join us down in Florida in about 15 minutes. The NFL has told DeMonte Casey that he is suspended for the remainder of the season.
Thanks for playing.
He is, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he was a naughty boy on Saturday night against the Colts. And this, the league has said he has been suspended without pay for the remainder of the regular season and any potential postseason games for repeated violations of playing rules intended to protect the health and safety of players.
Okay.
So he has been, again, a naughty boy. So a player for the Steelers. He was the one who delivered the hit on Michael Pittman Jr., right? It was pretty scary, by the way.
Yes.
And he actually got up. I was surprised. I was like, ruh-roh. That's not good.
No.
But I haven't heard the latest on Pittman, but it was
either.
a lot more encouraging than I thought.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be as bad as it looked. At last
And
report,
it certainly looked bad.
It did look bad.
So Demonte KZ is done this season for the Steelers. Okay. So, and by the way, did you agree with Eric in Columbia saying that he thinks that Derrick Henry kind of do the whole Pollard, Zeke Elliott? Yeah, I watched that last year for the Cowboys, and that's not a good thing to have.
No, I don't. I don't. I think they're
in
going
fact,
to
you heard me say many times, like Ezekiel Elliott, like he's done.
I think they're going to do the hard thing, and it's going to be the hard thing because it's going to be a PR hit. Because Derrick Henry's everyone's favorite player. There's a lot of 22 jerseys in town
for good reason,
for excellent reasons. But I think they're going to do the hard thing and move on entirely, because I think that's what's best for the football team. And I don't know how anyone makes an argument that it's not better for the football team for Derrick Henry to remain here, unless again you're going to run the team through Derrick Henry. If you're done running the team through Derrick Henry, I don't know how else he survives. I don't know how he survives as a supplemental player. And if somebody wants to call and make the case to me how Derrick Henry survives on this team as a supplemental player, please, I'm listening. I'm wondering, how does it work? What does it look like? Because I don't see a way for it to go. Either he's going to be the offense or he's not. Or he's going to be exactly what you see. That's the way I see it.
No offense, because I really don't want him to go, but
this ain't about want.
No, I'm just saying I think that, if I'm being honest, he should go. Like if I were him, like why would you trust right now this franchise to get it right in front of him? They haven't. Think about it.
Well,
the last 2 years, the offensive line has been a disaster. A disaster of epic proportions. So, is next year going to be that's the year everything gets right? I don't know, maybe, I guess, but I mean, what proof is there of that? Basically, every dart they've thrown at the offensive line, for the most part, for right now, isn't working. Now, Skoronski, by the way, yesterday, now to his credit, he took ownership. I mean, he took ownership and stood up and was like, I got to be better than that. Like he knew it. Like I appreciate that about him. He's like, basically, I'm paraphrasing. I was crap. I got to work harder. Like I got to get better. Duncan didn't look much. That left side looked atrocious. And how many times have we said the left side has looked atrocious when it comes to this offensive line here in the last 2.5 years?
Yeah.
Like pretty regularly.
With different people.
With different people.
I
mean, what are they doing at center? Again, what are they doing at center? What are they going to do on the right side? Like what?
I don't know.
How do you fix? I mean,
it's
left tackle. Like Skoronski's not going anywhere. They spent a first-round pick on him, but Duncan's a 6th-round pick. Like they don't owe him anything.
He's a 6th-round pick and playing in a position where you're paying a guy a lot of money who's not playing, by the way, and Andre Dillard, who was brought in to play that position, who has not worked out at all.
Dillard and Daly have been. You talking about swings and misses at left tackle?
Dennis Daly was a rehab assignment essentially after Taylor Lewan got hurt last year, and you went to the scrap heap. You went off the street. The practice squad guy.
That's not true.
What?
They traded for Dennis Daly.
Yeah, but he was wasn't he on a practice squad elsewhere for Carolina? He wasn't like he He wasn't starting for the Panthers, was he?
They gave up something. They traded for him.
Just because they gave up something for him doesn't mean he was playing big time for the Panthers. Was he starting for the Panthers last year when they traded for him? Was he like
I don't know. You said they got him off the scrap heap. I'm telling you they traded for him.
Well, they traded
that
for
means
his rights.
They gave Carolina something for him. No,
All right.
They didn't trade for the rights. They gave them a draft pick.
I understand what you're saying. I understand. And that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, I'll look it up.
I understand. Nah, I got you. I'm just saying, they're two very different things. Dennis Daly coming in as a backup player from the Carolina Panthers versus Andre Dillard, who was a first-round pick of the Eagles, who was playing in a backup position with Philadelphia, but had a much higher pedigree than Dennis Daly did, and also has not looked well. So the questions could be, well, what's the offensive line coach doing? What's happening over there? What's the personnel department looking like? Why are they picking the people that they are? What's going on with that? Do they need to invest more in the offensive line, either more money, or is there a better fleet of offensive linemen to pick from this time around? What's going to happen? Because the offensive line's got to get fixed, and the question is, how do you fix it? Do you fix it through the draft? Do you fix it through free agency? Do you fix it through both? The Titans fans in my circle were literally having this debate yesterday. Do you want to spend a high pick on a wide receiver, or do you want to spend a high pick on an offensive lineman? And so crazy, it's the exact same conversation we were having last year. A year ago, Titans fans were discussing, do you want to draft a wide receiver or do you want to draft an offensive lineman? A year ago. And now we circle back around and the same conversation is being had.
They traded a 5th-round pick for Dennis Daly.
Okay.
That's a 5th-round pick. I mean, that's
I understand.
A guy they shouldn't have given a bag of footballs to.
I understand your point.
So that compounds things even worse. If you picked him up off the scrap heap and you just acquired him, you just said, hey, we'll take you, Uber driver Dennis Daly or DoorDash driver Dennis Daly, fine.
Yeah.
You swung him in, but you actually gave up a 5th-round pick for him. And then you brought in Dillard and you paid him.
Yeah.
What'd they give Dillard?
I think 3 years, $29 million.
Yeah.
I think.
Those are two really, really bad misses.
I mean, and these, well, what it shows is how bad the offensive line pool is right now.
I understand they were desperate.
They were.
But,
that's why you traded a 5th round for Dennis Daly.
But that's
apparently.
making my point.
Yeah.
Well, how is there any proof that they're going to get this a whole lot better for Derrick Henry? So why would you want to stay?
Well, you want to stay because of I guess the legacy or whatever it is that's built up here. But if you want to win now, and that's my other thing about this, and I'm glad you brought me back around to this. Derrick Henry's the win now guy. This team is not in a win now mode. And the same thing is going to be said for another guy, and I'm going to hurt some feelings out here when I say this, but another person who's running up on a free agency deal is Autry, Denico Autry. Denico Autry is a win now player. Mm-hmm. He's in the prime and really the tail end of the prime of his career. He doesn't need to be with the Titans next year. The Titans should not bring him back. No, they should not, because they should invest that money into a younger player with more prime years ahead of him than Denico Autry has. There's a team out there who needs to invest in Denico Autry, and it's a team that's on the verge of winning right now. That is a player. The Jacksonville Jaguars should go get Denico Autry. I don't know. Pick another team that's on
Cincinnati Bengals.
The Cincinnati Bengals should go get Denico Autry.
Reader just got hurt. Isn't he a free agent?
I think so.
I think he's a free agent.
They should get the players or organizations who are in a win now mode are the guys who should get Denico Autry.
So I'm glad you brought this up.
Same thing with Derrick Henry.
So we've talked about them trying to figure out what they're trying to do on offense and what they are. So it sounds to me like this team needs to do some soul searching in the offseason and get in a room and probably lock the doors and not come out until they come up with some type of resolution. Because this is the way I see it, Justin. They seem to be very confused on their direction. Remember, this team was not punting on this season at all. They brought back Derrick Henry. They went and got DeAndre Hopkins and paid him.
Mm-hmm.
They brought back Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, yeah.
They were not Kevin Byard, we all know.
Oh, no.
They were not punting on this
Oh,
season.
no, they weren't halfway on this
all.
season. No.
So
They were going for it.
And we've talked about the offense. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Like, what are you doing? So they got some things they need. That's the point. They got some things they need to figure out. Like, what are you?
I don't know what they've been doing on offense all year.
So we know you're going to bring back Will Levis. Like, we got all that.
He's QB1.
So what are you doing? Like, what is your game plan? What are you viewing next year as? What is it? Is that your rebuild? Is that you? Are you building? What is your goal? 2027 when you go in the new stadium? Like, you want to be hitting on all cylinders? You want to be a contender? What is your goal? Is it next year? Is it the year after that? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? That's what they need to figure out, because right now they are drifting into no man's land. That's where they're drifting into the abyss, because you're a rudderless ship. You don't know what you are. What are you trying to accomplish on offense? What are you trying to do as an organization?
I don't think they're drifting into the abyss as long as they've identified who their quarterback is going to be. Teams without quarterbacks, to me, are the teams drifting into an abyss.
Yeah, but you don't know if the quarterback is good enough.
Well, yes, I would agree that we don't know if the quarterback is good enough, but they have at least a foggy idea. They have a direction. They know who QB1 is next year. They're not going into next year into the draft hoping to trip across the quarterback.
Well, I understand, but they have gone with Jake Locker and Vince Young and Marcus Mariota and quarterbacks here, and that's our guy. Didn't mean he was good enough.
No, it doesn't mean he's good enough.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know if Will Levis is good enough.
But they do have a direction, because there have been years where they had, well, you didn't know. Well, you really didn't know who was going to be the quarterback going on next year. And now we do. We actually do know who the quarterback is next year. Now, whether or not he's good enough to carry the team is something different. And that's something they need to find out, which is what I would like them to do, is run the team through Will Levis. However, it is clear that the offensive line currently is good enough to run the team through Will Levis, or basically do anything else.
Yeah.
So, and that's going to be your biggest issue, which is why they've got to fix it. And then brings us back around to the other question is, well, how do they fix it? How do you fix it? You got $100 million. What are you going to do in draft picks? What are you going to do to address offensive line? And how do you do it? I think yesterday was a necessary loss, because yesterday, I think, is a situation that lends the team to a situation where it needs to be burned down and not saved. A win yesterday saves the team,
but they have
from the inevitable that we know is coming anyway.
I agree with you, but that's what I'm getting at. They have to be in a room and they have to agree on that. You see, like, I don't know if they're on board with that.
With
like,
what?
I agree with what you just said.
With what? Which part of that?
You basically just said, hey, you need a high draft pick. You need to burn it down. You just get rid of Danico Archer, get rid of all the fat, trim all the fat, and start over. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. But the question is, do they believe that? What is their approach?
Well, I think the choice has been made for them now. How could you salvage? So how is this team honestly going to bring back Danico Autry and Derrick Henry? How do they do that?
Justin, they lost 7 in a row to end last year, didn't make the playoffs, and were going the wrong direction and went for it this year.
They had Ryan Tannehill had a really expensive contract on their hands last year.
I understand. A lot of dead money.
They had a lot of dead money, so they decided to run it out there. And by the way, the QB of the future was not on the roster last year either when they made that decision, so they didn't know what they were doing, so they didn't want to come into the season with the uncertainty. They didn't believe in Malik Willis. I understand why they did what they did last year. I really do. It was worth one more because they had Henry and Tannehill both under contract for one more year. It made sense to me why they did what they did. Next year, they've got no such promises. Henry's out of time. Tannehill's out of time. Danico Autry's out of time. There is no reason. How do you justify bringing these guys back? To do what? To make one more run at what? You can't.
So why would you keep Big Jeff under that?
Well,
I mean, I know
Big Jeff is younger than all of those guys. Big Jeff.
Okay.
Big Jeff is much younger than all.
What is Autry? Autry's what?
I have to look at it. But Autry, I think, is a little bit older than that bunch. But Big Jeff is what, year 4 for Big Jeff?
Well, he was drafted here. So when was the draft here?
2019. Yeah.
So yeah, year 4.
Year 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But it's not a situation where he's got a lot more years in front of him. Big Jeff does. Yeah, Danico Autry's 33.
Oh, is he that old?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was 33.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Danico Autry's 33.
I would have said late 20s.
No.
Okay.
Well, he's playing like he's in his late 20s.
Well, yeah. He certainly is.
But no, he's 33 years old.
All right. I mean, that makes sense then. Okay.
Yeah. His first year was 2014 with the Oakland Raiders.
Okay. He's having a heck of a year. Good for him. We'll come back. We'll catch up with our man Vince Ferrara, and we will do that next.
Trusted for creative design and committed to both the function and aesthetics of your smile, Jody Jones Dentistry for 26 years has provided a wide range of general and cosmetic dentistry services along Nashville's Music Row and coming soon to Hermitage and Murfreesboro. The Nashville leader for cosmetic dentistry provides a unique luxury environment for patients who want his famous Hollywood smile. Just ask the country music stars, actors, athlete. Yeah, he was 8 years the dentist for the Predators to display his celebrity smile. To learn more, visit JodyJonesDDS.com or call 615-259-5100.
Grainger presents The Ones Who Get It Done. As the college football season progresses, the excitement continues to grow with packed stadiums and cheering crowds. Each team still dreams of winning the college football national championship, but come January 1st, only 4 teams will remain in contention. The question is, will Georgia be one of the 4, and can they pull off another championship for a three-peat? Only time will tell. The Ones Who Get It Done has been sponsored by Grainger. Call, click, Grainger.com, or just stop on by. Say, for the ones who get it done, Grainger is offering high-quality supplies and solutions for every single industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and the experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people even safer. So, call, click, Grainger.com, or just stop on by. Grainger.com.
Your brain is an amazing thing, but as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, Prevagen has been shown to improve memory. A Pharmacy Times National Survey of Pharmacists rated Prevagen the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand for the 5th year in a row. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere without a prescription. Help your memory. Try Prevagen today. Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is something I wish I'd known. Many people who live in Tennessee are eligible for help paying for healthy food for pregnant and new moms, their babies, and young children, but don't realize it. Family income can be higher than you think. There's a website called TennesseeMeals.com for more information. Assistance for healthy food for expectant moms and young children. This information I need to share. TennesseeMeals.com.
Brought to you by the Tennessee Justice Center, the Tennessee Association of Broadcasters.
It's a Bill King Show.
We are college football centric. That is the sun that warms our planet that we live on. Our planet actually isn't flat or round. It's an oblong spheroid. And we are here to proselytize about it, edify it every day on this here radio show.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
615-844-5600. We're live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio on this Monday afternoon. Kyle McCord is leaving Ohio State. He jumped in the portal right after their season, regular season was over. And he is going to Syracuse. Yeah.
The Orangemen.
Yeah. Not the Vols.
No, different corn. Yeah. Different kind of orange.
Different orange. Let's go down to Florida. He's already waiting. He's so eager. He's already waiting for the Cheez-It Bowl, where the Hawkeyes and the Vols will play. Vince Ferrara down in Tampa. Vinny, how we doing?
Good. Thankfully, I got the best cooking in the world to help buy my time to get to the free Cheez-Its in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl in Orlando. But I'm doing great. Hope you guys are.
Yeah, that food you're getting is going to be much better than what you'll get in the press box at that bowl game. Much, much better. I can promise you that.
Thankfully, with experience in press box food, I don't have unrealistic expectations. It's kind of like it's free, so I'm going to hush. It'll be all good either way. But good to join you guys from Tampa, Florida.
Yes, Vinny with 99.1, the sports animal there in Knoxville. So, how many players does Lane Kiffin plan on suiting up next year at Ole Miss? What's his roster going to be constructed? Do they have a limit of how many kids he can suit up on the sidelines?
He's Mr. Portal.
I'll take you. Yes, you. Come on. Yeah, you got a brother? Okay, come on. Let's go. You got a friend? Let's go. Come on.
He's Oprah looking at the room of the transfer portal guys sitting in chairs, just anxiously awaiting to be selected by Lane Kiffin. I haven't seen if they landed Walter Nolan. There's some that are making predictions for that as of yesterday. Of course, a kid that played in Knoxville for a year at Powell High School before signing with Texas A&M, a 5-star. And, he is a talent, regardless of what you think of him. He is one of those guys, not everybody is, but one of those guys that seems to be, hey, tell me what NIL offers I have, and then I'll make a decision. Some guys, it's a part of the equation. Other guys, that's what they're looking for. They're looking to cash out. And so even if he takes that route, or if that's the route for him, if they land him, they may add, at least with Tennessee's guys, and Tyler Barron and Tamarian McDonald. I'm guessing both of those guys will start for them. And if they were to land Walter Nolan, you will likely have the number one transfer portal class and then 3 starters off of it on a defense that made some improvements this year but needs to get better, similar to Tennessee. Tennessee made improvements in the portal, needs to get better.
They landed the top tight end in the portal. Is that correct?
Yeah, real quick, I'll tell you about that in a second, but I forgot to mention, speaking of landed, I don't know if you guys saw the Lane Kiffin tweet with Barron and McDonald coming to Oxford from Tennessee. Lane Kiffin tweeted a couple of shark emojis with a small plane, a Tennessee plane, small plane with a Tennessee logo on it, basically saying that they used the Tennessee plane to bring those guys and shipping them to Oxford. So a troll, a dig, just playful tweet, however you want to look at it. But that was noted by Tennessee fans, shockingly enough. But, Holton Stays, the number one transfer portal tight end. The likes of Georgia, Oklahoma, Washington, all were beaten out by Tennessee for Holton Stays. He's a big-time talent. Similar in some ways, McAllen Castles talked to the media today, and he actually said that, hey, it's a little bit of a similar situation. He didn't do a ton of blocking. He was more of a pass catcher there at Notre Dame. He's going to have to learn that aspect of it, but it will help him become a more complete tight end for the next level. You got to utilize that pass catching, and they're losing their top 2 tight ends in Castles and Jacob Warren. They only have 2 roster tight ends, Tennessee, prior to Stays coming in, and he'll be coming in, I guess, soon. But they have Ethan Davis, who was a high 4-star from last year, and then Emmanuel Okoye, who was a kid from the NFL Academy in London, and that's it. And he's a super raw talent. Those are the only 2 scholarship tight ends, so it's a huge priority in recruiting. So to land the number one guy at your number one priority position, that's a nice get for Tennessee. And then the other addition they've had is actually someone that you guys are familiar with there in the mid-state, and Jacoby Thomas, the safety from Middle Tennessee. So those have been the 2 portal entries that I've seen so far for Tennessee.
What'd you think of their schedule for 2024?
It was, to me, it was middle of the pack to bottom half of the SEC in terms of strength. It's maybe a little bit more on the. I would lean in more, not easy, because there is no really easy outside of Missouri has the lightest schedule, and that's not easy. But I thought it was kind of in that general middle of the pack. There's not consecutive top 10 games there for them. There are difficult teams on their schedule, but it's sort of spaced out once you start thinking about it. I also looked through to see who teams were playing the week before Tennessee, and there are some challenges there for some teams, but there's not a great disadvantage for Tennessee because they don't have gauntlet stretches to where maybe you play somebody and you might be weakened for those opponents. So when you take all those factors into the equation, I think it was a little bit more difficult on paper than last year, but than this past year. But this past season ended up being tougher than we thought, with Missouri being improved. I think they've had rougher schedules. I think overall there wasn't an overreaction to it. I think they were just generally happy that Florida had the hardest and the biggest brutal schedule of anyone in the SEC.
Jalen Wright has decided to skip out and head off to the NFL. He's going to skip out on the bowl game, which of course has become a common practice now across college football. What kind of legacy does he leave behind here at Tennessee?
Well, certainly he is. This year, it was, I want to say, the second highest yards per carry for a Tennessee running back in a long time. Hank Larcella, I think, might have been the highest per carry yardage for a certain amount of carries. He was the number one running back in yards per carry in the country this year, and the number 2 overall player, only behind Jaden Daniels, the Heisman Trophy winner. And so for him to average 7.4 per carry and start 2 ball games with a house call, it's really impressive. And he became an all-around running back this year because it was a running back by committee. I think some wonder if maybe he was underutilized. That wouldn't have been the first time that Tennessee fans have wondered if a talented running back was underutilized at Tennessee. See Alvin Kamara. But I think it's a little different circumstances. I don't think they were crushing Heupel. I think there was the conversation that we all had, including me. I brought this up. Why can't you get 2 backs in the backfield and utilize a couple of your best players at one time instead, especially when you had rough stretches of the offense, instead of only playing one of your good group of running backs at one time. So, but he took advantage of his opportunities, dealt with injuries early in his career. He was healthier during the season this year. I think he's worked his way into probably a day 2 draft pick, and he was not that coming into the year.
Who's that leave as a starter next year then, Vince?
Well, depends on what Jabari Small does. I've not seen a decision on him. And he is a senior. He has the option to come back. My anticipation would be that he would not come back. He's dealt with a ton of injuries. When he has played, he's been effective. And so I don't know if it's the NFL and just saying, hey, I got tread on my tires. I want to just give it a shot and see if somebody gives me a look and get going on it, or if it's the portal. But without Jalen Wright, there'll be an opportunity there. If he's not there, then Dylan Sampson would be your RB1 right now. And then it just depends on the freshmen that come into the signing class or through the portal. If Jabari Small decides not to come back, I think they'll be more active in the portal. See, the thing is, guys, is there's more talent in the portal now, but it's not over with the portal after this window. There'll be a spring stretch where guys will hit the portal, and I think that's where you will see a Tennessee potentially look to see if they can find the right perfect fit at quarterback, with them only having one scholarship quarterback right now in Nico Iamaleava, and then one that's coming into bowl practices that you'll be a part of your signing class in 4-star Jake Merklinger from Savannah, Georgia. That's still a very small QB room, but it's hard to bring in portal guys if you're not telling them realistically that you're competing for a starting spot. And that's not easy to do a running back either. Guys want to play also. So kind of a similar situation that may go to the spring before it kind of clears up a little bit.
Who are the players who are participating in bowl practice that have already signed? Some of the players maybe we're not familiar with as of yet.
Well, there's 10 guys, and an 11th will come in and join them in the Orlando practices. But then a number of them are Merklinger, Boo Carter, who's from Bradley Central, who's an electric two-way player. That we'll see where he starts, but probably in the secondary. Also, your 5-star wide receiver and Mike Matthews. They need elite talent at wide receiver. We saw this year when you took Hooker and Hyatt out of the equation, difference makers. You need the quarterback, but you need a guy that can get open, that you can mismatch with, that will draw coverages, that will get open. They didn't have that level guy down in, down out that will impact defenses, and Matthews potentially can be that. They have 2 of their highest rated offensive linemen that are coming in. There's more of them. Those guys aren't officially signed. They're allowed to participate in bowl practices before they've signed their national letter of intent. So that will happen. There's 10 of them, not as big a group as last year when they had 16, but, it's just to get acclimated. It's not the be-all, end-all guys. I talked about it. None of those guys really had major impacts of the freshmen that participated last year, but it does allow you to get a little bit more comfortable. You know what to expect in practices, and maybe you can, depending on the kid, you can utilize more and get up and running more in the spring and in the fall. But it's more, I think, something that can be an advantage for transfers in or JUCO guys among those groups. So it is a good group that's coming in that'll be a part of those practices. They've already started practicing, and they had some media avails today with Keenan Peely talking, as well as McAllen Castles and Elijah Herring.
Vince, when I started covering the Music City Bowl 20-something years ago, I remember a coach, and I cannot remember which one at the time, but trying to explain to me and the rest of the assembled media how the practices for the bowl game were, in a lot of ways, much more valuable than the actual game itself. And I don't know if Tennessee views it that way, but it seems like a lot of coaches do. Can you speak to that at all?
Josh Heupel's not going to say that the practices are more valuable than the game. So we can ask him that, but he's not going to say that on record. I don't know that that's the case. I think, maybe what they're trying to say is, look, we can impact a lot of players that won't get on the field and potentially get them better, more so than in a game where you're not playing quite as many players.
I see.
So maybe you can kind of talk, look at something like that in terms of which is more important. But you can't replicate game situations. Yes, they're exhibitions. Some guys are going to take advantage of it and get better. Other guys are going to flash, and then you'll never hear from them again, or it's their last game. So, that can work a lot of different ways. So Plus, what do you do with the practices? I mentioned last year, it didn't vault any of the freshmen into playing time, so was it more valuable than what we saw from some of the guys in the game? And plus, with the turnover today, Justin, with the rosters, gosh, who they have in those bowl practices may not be, who they have in the spring.
Yeah.
Guys will hit the portal in the spring, and so it's just still going to be a lot of guys in flux, and so it's just a moving target. You just make the most of what you got, but no, I wouldn't say more important.
Real quick, let's end on. I watched it. It was late game. Was it 9 o'clock our time tip, 10 o'clock your time tip? I watched a good game. Tennessee held on to beat NC State. Good week for the Vols.
Yeah, separated late in winning that game over NC State, who had good guard play, and then DJ Burns, the one-time Tennessee volunteer that had to leave when he was at Tennessee, wasn't just he decided to leave because of Rick Barnes or anything like that. So he went to Winthrop and was a conference player of the year, and now has been at NC State, and he's effective. He's a good big. And, that's a pretty decent NC State team that they beat. And they had their veterans. They were kind of called out by Rick Barnes and, Vescovy and James and Ziegler. Barnes wanted more from those guys, and a couple of them did not play well at all against Georgia Southern, especially in the second half, where they left Georgia Southern that game. It was a winless team. So that was kind of disappointing to a lot of people. But they bounced back, played better. The veterans led the way. If the veterans are good, you don't have to rely on Connect every game. This team has a chance. They're still sort of finding themselves, but it was a good week. Moved up in the polls to 8 and 7 in the AP and the coaches poll. 7 is the highest all year. So yeah, the light over the holidays, the Tarleton State this week, and Norfolk State January 2nd, and then it's on to conference play in early January.
They have the highest Ken Palm ranking in the SEC. So yeah, nice 79-70 victory. There was some great college basketball games on Saturday. Some fantastic matchups. Kentucky and North Carolina, Arizona and Purdue. I mean, there was some great college basketball games on Saturday. Vince, appreciate it as always, man. Enjoy the home cooking down there, and we'll Merry Christmas to you and your family, and we'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is a given. Great to talk to you guys. Appreciate you having me all year. Merry Christmas to each of you guys. Happy holidays to everybody listening, and look forward to talking to you guys right after Christmas.
All right. That is Vince Ferrara, 99.1 The Sports Animal in Knoxville, down in Tampa right now, and he will join us next week. 615-844-5600 is how you get in touch with us. We are wide open the rest of the way. We can take your calls if you want to react to whatever took place over the weekend. We can do that next here on The McFarland Show.
Jackson Boone Racing, the youngest driver at age 19 to win the coveted Pro Late Model Series championship at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Jackson Boone Racing, a local kid and Page High graduate who's been winning races since he was 8 years old. Jackson Boone Racing. Come join Red Street Records and Roy's Meat Service, along with the Boone Group, a market leader for your home financing needs. In supporting this rising star, visit JacksonBooneRacing.com to see how you can be a part of the journey and join us running up front. Jackson Boone Racing.
In Tennessee, 967,430 people struggle with hunger, and 295,570 of them are children. That's 1 in 7 who struggle with hunger, and 1 in 5 are children. People who are hungry are not necessarily living on the streets. They may be in your child's classroom, in your neighborhood, or just down the street. In addition, many of these people live in food deserts, which are areas more than 10 miles from the nearest grocery store. Often there are limited resources to get food, and the only option is fast food or convenience markets. While processed food may help with hunger pangs, it provides little to no nutrition. What began in 2008 as a dream to buy land, grow food, and give it away has recently developed into a way to serve and impact more individuals in the community. God has blessed our mission to be a healthy food source to those in need so much, By Faith Farm had to create a nonprofit to continue meeting the need in the community on a larger scale. Visit ByFaithFarm.com to get involved. That's ByFaithFarm.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-617-0239. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-617-0239. That's 800-617-0239. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
'Tis the season for all of my favorite treats. Now, where are Grandma's homemade holiday cookies? Hold up. Where are Grandma's cookies?
Easy, Joe. Grandma brought something even sweeter this season.
Your triple fudge brownies?
No, Joey. Holiday instant games from the Tennessee Lottery.
Made from scratch holiday wins? Grandma, you're a genius.
Give the gift of holiday instant games topped with sweet cash prizes. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Oh, what game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
I believe this franchise right now, unfortunately, is paying for the sins of a lot of bad draft picks and bad signings. You can only dodge that for so long. When you think about going back-to-back years with your first-round pick and get nothing, that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow. It just
The
is.
McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
A hearty congratulations to Tim Hasselbeck.
Hey.
Tim Hasselbeck is the new head football coach at Innsworth.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
I've done many shows and hours of Sports Talk Radio with Tim Hasselbeck over the years. Good dude.
Wow.
Been living here with his family for, I don't know what the time frame is, but it's been a good while.
Should be
It's been, I don't know.
maybe over a decade.
I don't think so.
Not
I was
that
thinking
long?
about. I don't think it's been quite that long.
Okay.
But it's been a while. It may be close to it. Actually, now that you say that, maybe close to it.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been here a good while. So congratulations to Tim Hasselbeck. He's a really good dude, and we'll see how he does as the new football coach at Innsworth. It's a good hire by them.
It certainly sounds like it. I mean, he's got every kind of experience that you can want to have when it comes to the game of football. Certainly knows the inside and out. Has a very good demeanor that you would think would work well with young men.
One would think, yeah. I agree. I totally agree. And obviously a good football IQ. Played in the NFL.
Yeah.
Played at Boston College. He's got his brother Matt to lean on.
Yeah.
So, guy's family to lean on, man.
Yeah. Doesn't hurt when your brother played in the Super Bowl.
Dad,
Yeah.
and I mean, that's a good little pedigree of football knowledge in that family.
Oh, boy.
615-844-5600. Let's go to Tony in Nolensville. Tony, what's up?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you're right. That is, I saw that. That is a good hire right there with Innsworth, and he didn't he play with the Titans?
No, that was his brother Matt.
No, Matt did.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
wrong Hasselbeck.
But that is a good hire, and that's it's a trend that's going on now with these high schools going out and hiring these retired NFL players. So they bring in a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience to the game, no doubt.
I
And that's
can
been
tell
going on
you,
for some time.
none of the high school football coaches, when I was in high school, either the high school I went to or in the area, were guys that have played at the highest level. The
Right.
landscape has changed a little bit.
It really has. Darren, next October 26th, I've got a ticket with your name on it. Austin P will be playing Carrollton State in Clarksville.
In Clarksville, no kidding.
Wow.
Tell you what, if they win
Wow.
that game, they should be the 1 seed.
Wow.
I'm just saying. You beat Tarleton State.
Should go to the Orange Bowl.
Guys, Austin Peay released their schedule the other day. They have 7 home games this coming year.
Huh?
They open up with Louisville.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute, in Clarksville?
No, they will be playing Louisville at Louisville.
Okay, I was going to say, man,
wow, the Cardinals are coming to Clarksville?
Yeah.
Okay.
To have 7 home games on the FCS level, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And Darren, I didn't know this, Justin, but Austin Peay, I read this the other day. Austin Peay has the 7th winningest program in FCS in the last 6 or 7 years, with 3 different conference championships and over 50 wins. So they're making good strides up there. I'm proud of them. And it's just, I think Gerald Harrison's got it going on. And according to Facebook page on Mike Organ's site, many coaches have chimed in and talking about the new hire at Austin Peay. That he a lot of coaches, head coaches now on the collegiate level and the high school levels, Gary Rankin and among others, are talking about what a great hire this is going to be and has for Austin Peay. So looking forward to seeing what brand of ball they put out there on the field. So,
Jeff,
guys, y'all covered the Titans as best you can. There you go. Yeah.
Ferris.
But the Titans, you watch this offensive line. Justin, you're right. What you said earlier, it's been addressed, and we were talking about it last year, and we're talking about it again this year. And you got to wonder over who is the offensive line coach. I don't know the coach itself, but it's the same problem, it seems like. And guys, they just kept running it up the middle with Henry, and it was not working. We all saw it. The people, correct me, when there's some boo birds that come out.
There were. Yep.
The question is, who are they booing? Were they booing the offensive line? Were they booing Derrick Henry? Were they booing the play call?
I believe they were booing the play call.
That's what it felt like.
I was booing it in my house.
That's what it felt like. Yeah.
I was doing that. So. And then with the bowl games that come out this weekend, there was some good ones already. And I think Damon touched on it. I could not take my eyes and turn the channel. And that pouring down rain down there in Orlando, that was such a fun game to watch them. Those guys to play in about 3 inches of rain. If you hadn't ever played in one of those monsoon games, I played in 2 of them. They're something else, and it's a game you'll always remember. That's for sure.
No
and
doubt.
Guys, I was going to quiz y'all one thing.
Real quick, Tony, we got to go.
Y'all know who is since 2002, who the top 2 bowl, 2 teams have the best bowl record since 2002? This is according to ESPN the other day. I was surprised by this.
All right. You got to stop and think about it. I don't know.
Last 20 years. I don't know. Tell us.
I think
Georgia is top with 18-6 record. And Texas Tech is second with 11-4, now 12-4 record.
Well, all right. Good one. Tony, thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Take our final break, come back, wrap up Monday's edition of the McFarland Show next.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro, with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Prince's Hot Chicken, Nashville's original hot chicken, with 3 locations serving Middle Tennessee, south on Nolensville Road, 5th and Broad, downtown, and the new location at Tanger Outlet Mall. You can now order your favorite flavor of heat online at princeshotchicken.com. And don't forget dessert, including special holiday pies. Prince's Hot Chicken in 3 locations and princeshotchicken.com. Prince's Hot Chicken, Nashville's original hot chicken.
The TSU Tigers men's basketball team with 5th-year coach Penny Collins are coming off a top 3 OVC finish last season and looking for much more this season. Led by preseason all-conference guards Marcus Fitzgerald and Kenyon Hodges, the Tigers face an impressive non-conference schedule that includes Oregon, Lipscomb, Austin Peay, Indiana State, and Liberty, and tip-off a league play on December 28th at Gentry Center versus UT Martin. Hello, this is Greg Pogue inviting you to join longtime TSU broadcaster Albert Dawson on all of the games this season right here on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
You're listening live from the Strike and Spare Studios, downtown Music City. It's the McFarland Show.
If you're down in Rutherford County, or you're planning on being in Rutherford County tomorrow, by the way, you can listen on 107.9. We'd love for you to show up to Single Tree Barbecue, 2805 Old Fort Parkway. We'll be doing our show there from 2 until 4 o'clock. And if you are nice enough to help us out and maybe bring in some new blankets or new gloves or new socks, Charlie Eblin, who owns Single Tree Barbecue, MTSU grad, by the way, is nice enough to give you a fantastic pork sandwich on him. Oh, you can also Venmo Rosie Sperduto some money, and all that money will get used to buy those items that we will be handing out on Christmas morning to people who could certainly need it.
Very cool. Very
cool.
cool.
Hope to see a lot of people tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Down in Murfreesboro.
Welcome everybody out.
So tonight it'll be the Eagles and the Seahawks in Seattle. Get some banged up quarterbacks.
Yes, we do.
Geno Smith and Jalen Hurts. Well, I guess Jalen Hurts is more about an illness, right? Not really banged up.
He's been downgraded to questionable in this game. Of course, Geno Smith coming off the groin injury. And they don't know if he's going to go or not. But listen, this is a crucial game for the Seahawks. If you're Geno Smith, to me, you got to find a way to get out there. Your team needs you tonight to go out there and try to find a way to win this game. If you're him and if you're that franchise, you go out there and you need to play. That's just me.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Their season is on the line.
Yeah, hanging on by a thread. You got to go out there and find a way to win this game. Big time game tonight for them.
we will have our NFL Top 10 on Wednesday. Boy, some craziness continues.
Things will change.
By the way, that division.
Which one?
The NFC South.
Okay.
I don't think the winner is going to have a winning record. I don't think.
Hey, it's not fair, but it's okay.
8 wins may get you
We've
into
been
the
talking
playoffs.
about whoever's good. They're going to play a 10 or 11 win team.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be the loser of the NFC East, which is going to be either the Cowboys or the Eagles, and they're both going to have double-digit wins. So they're going to end up playing Atlanta or New Orleans or whoever, and they're going to be, like you said, 8-9, 7-10, and they're going to get a home game.
And things are heating up. Bills are getting hot, and Jake Browning and Joe Flacco keep leading those
What
teams
in the world
to
is
victories.
that?
I know. All right, that's going to do it for our show today. Hope to see you in Murfreesboro tomorrow. Bill Keene will get things started at 6 a.m., followed by Greg and John, 9 to 11. We'll see you tomorrow, 2 o'clock.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
CBS Sports Radio. This is the Zach Gelb Show. Here's your host, Zach Gelb.
That's right. It is the Zach Gelb Show, coast to coast on CBS Sports Radio. We'll get to this Dean Blandino story in just a second, but I think the biggest takeaway from yesterday in the NFL was from that Cowboys and Bills game where the Dallas Cowboys are now back and the Buffalo Bills are back as well, but they had different meanings because for the Buffalo Bills, them being back is okay through all the hiccups that they had this season. They're 8-6. They got 3 games remaining. And really the only tough game is going up against the Miami Dolphins. So bare minimum, barring something crazy happening in those 2 weeks before the Miami game, they're going to have 10 wins going into that Dolphins game. Dolphins have a tough schedule. We'll see if the Dolphins end up winning the AFC East. But even with how crammed it is and how packed it is, I do believe Buffalo's going to the playoffs. And I started this last week, and I'll double down on it this week. I think Buffalo has an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. I do. And I think Buffalo is going to the Super Bowl. We are in a year in the AFC and also the NFL, where you've seen so many quarterbacks go down. So to just have a healthy quarterback this time of the year gives you a massive advantage. And yesterday, Buffalo's offensive line came alive. You then also saw James Cook, who was having a really good underrated season. He's like second or third in rushing yards. But he had a monster day. And that defense, even though the defense isn't great, and we'll see if they get back Matt Milano, Tre'Davious White is done for the season, but that defense was dominant yesterday, but showed me that they could be serviceable the rest of the season. And it would be very fitting for Buffalo to wind up going on a run where last year they were the team that everyone was picking to go to the Super Bowl, and they massively failed. So then this year, a lot of people jumped off the Buffalo bandwagon. We basically wrote their eulogy 4 or 5 weeks ago, and now they're starting to come back to life. So Buffalo, even not needing really Josh Allen to play great yesterday, were not only able to beat the Cowboys, but they embarrassed the Dallas Cowboys. And that goes into Dallas. Dallas, every year, they dress themselves up as this 11, 12, 13-win team, as they have the looks of someone that should look great. And that should be a great team. But then you see flaws. And it just shows you how week to week this league is. Last week, the Dallas Cowboys took it to the Eagles. And it was the first big-time performance we saw from the Cowboys this year. And everyone is just praising and overly praising the Dallas Cowboys. Even I last week was praising what Dallas can be and what Dallas did, even knowing for the better part of the last 3 years, I've always said about Dallas, they look great in the regular season, and then come playoff time, they will fold, and they will choke. But the problem I have with Dallas yesterday isn't just that they lost the game, because they weren't going to win out, but it's they were non-competitive. And Dallas in their building, compared to being on the road, looked like a different team. And from a talent standpoint, even though I like Buffalo going into the game and I like Buffalo to win, Dallas has more talent than the Bills this year. They are a more talented team on both sides of the ball. And you were watching, let's say, football for the first time, you would have thought that the Cowboys were a team struggling all throughout the year, and the Bills were this dominant team from start to finish. So both of those teams showed you who they really are and what they will continue to be for the rest of the season. Dallas will have moments where they crush the inferior teams. You know, I'm sure they'll find a way in the playoffs to beat whoever wins the NFC South, whether that's New Orleans or whether that's Tampa Bay. But when push comes to shove, in a big spot, in a big moment, divisional round, NFC title game, you just won't trust them. You know, Dallas reminds me a lot like Jacksonville right now. Even though Dallas has been around for a lot longer in terms of expecting more out of them. But it is kind of amazing how teams like Dallas, Jacksonville, you know, also to some extent, Detroit as well, how those three teams, they have the looks of really good teams, and Jacksonville now a little bit different at 8-6, and we know where the Cowboys and the Lions are trending to in terms of their record. But all three of those teams at times have looked like really good teams this year, but then in those big games, it's not only as if they don't win them, because it's one thing not to win them, but to not even show up. Like Jacksonville 3 times this year. Had a big game against Kansas City, big game against the 49ers, big game against the Ravens, and you didn't show up in all 3 of them. And that was Dallas yesterday. It's like, how do you not even show up? How do you not even put up a fight? And that's my problem with the Cowboys. And that just further reiterates and reconfirms to me what the Dallas Cowboys are. They're frauds. They're a good team. They're not a great team. And in a game like that yesterday, it cost Dak Prescott the MVP. It did. Dak was a serious momentum push to go win the MVP. And then he loses that game, and now it's like, okay, all that talk for a week, yep, just let it go right out the window. It's done and over with, and the Cowboys are back to how we analyze the Cowboys for most of the season. Expect to be disappointed with the Cowboys. All righty, so that's a little bit on the Bills and the Cowboys. That game yesterday, we had to comment on it and circle back to it. Let's now get to Dean Blandino. So for years we've talked about, especially with gambling being legalized, that the NFL or any professional sport's biggest fear are players gambling on the games. I actually don't think that should be the biggest fear. It's the officials gambling on the games. Now, I'm not a big conspiracy guy. Like, I'll listen, but I'm not a big conspiracy guy. When you lose a bet and then you see a call that doesn't go your way, oh, how much money did this coach or how much money did this player, how much money did this official have? But I do acknowledge there is going to be someone, and there's already been people, right, that gamble when they're not supposed to gamble. How many suspensions did we see this year in the NFL in this offseason? But I think when players bet, they're usually betting on themselves, or they're betting on their teammates, or they're betting on friends that they're not going up against. So I don't know how much players betting really impacts the game. Now, if you have a player saying, you know, my over-under is 6.5 catches and I'm going to take my under, and he just so happens to drop what would have been the 7th catch because he had, I don't know, like $100,000 on it, all right, he's impacting the game. And I'm not saying players should be allowed to gamble. I'm not. Because rules are rules, whether you like them or not. Those are the rules, and I understand why the NFL would not want players gambling. And once you open up Pandora's box, oh, you could bet on yourself, but it has to be in a positive way, well, then you're just losing everything. You can't do that. You can't. Even if a player's like, oh, I'm going to bet my over on yards every week, it just can't happen. But officials are never talked about in this equation, or rarely talked about. And I'm sure, right, as Dean Blandino says, they've been approached by gambling agencies and things like that, and people associated with gambling to get the officials on their side. It's, you know,